Dust storms moving off of Africa, one of the many reasons why tropical development is not expected over the next 5 to 10 days, which is nothing unusual here in July. In this tropical weather update, I'm Jeff Huffman. You're looking at a 5-day animation of Saharan dust. We highlight the dust in the yellows, oranges, and reds. This imagery courtesy of Sims, and it's a 5-layer animation. And you can see in the last 4 or 5 days, there's been this big dust storm off the west coast of Africa, and we've got a new wave of this Saharan air moving across the Atlantic. What does that do? This right here. It keeps thunderstorms from forming. I mean, there is hardly a cloud in the sky from the Greater and Lesser Antilles all the way to the Cape Verde Islands. If you're out there on a cruise or any kind of ships that are moving through out there, you'll probably notice all that dust in the air. Lots of hazy conditions there, and it's showing up as the brown color on our water vapor loop. Closer to home, no dust. We just have tropical moisture, and there's a fairly significant tropical wave approaching the state. It's being sheared apart, though, by an upper level area of lower pressure moving into the eastern part of the nation. But you can see on the future track here that darker green covering the state. There will be some unsettled weather in terms of higher than normal rain chances, at times some heavier rain, longer lasting thunderstorms, and probably a pretty dominant flow out of the Gulf of Mexico lasting until about Friday. And then we're going to get into some of that drier air. Eventually, those dust storms will produce drier pockets of air that will be approaching the state from the south and east. And I anticipate our weather here in the Sunshine State will calm down a bit next week. But in the next 5 to 7 days, some significant rainfall, highest amounts in South Florida, although there'll be some locally higher amounts than this. Generally speaking, 1 to 4 inches in most areas. So the tropical outlook for the next 10 days, just unsettled here in the southeastern part of the United States, but no storms expected, and that'll probably take us through the middle of July.